Herkese iyi akşamlar. Dersimiz birazdan başlıyor. So welcome everyone. Good evening, good day, good morning to all of you, depending on wherever you are from. Our lesson is starting in a bit. Okay, so today what will we do? Bugün ne yapacağız? Today we will talk about the second part of conjunctions. In simple words, the words that connect two words, two phrases, two sentences, and this way we will be able to make advanced sentences. And let me just show you. Hemen göstereyim. Oh wait, there's this mistake. And for those who don't know, I will be speaking both in English and in Turkish. I will speak slow when I speak Turkish, so you can still try to listen to me and understand. Also, the level of this lesson is mostly for intermediate and advanced levels, but if you're a beginner, you can still listen and try to catch a few new things. I will make it simple and beginner friendly, so you can still stick with us. And of course, I will make a reminder about the first part, conjunctions 1. And sonra conjunctions 2 hakkında konuşacağız. And then we will talk about conjunctions 2. And the lines of Turkish parts, that's what I call it. Yani interesting colloquial examples or interesting reminders or details. Things you need to know about all of this stuff. And then we will do some practice if we have enough time. Then just call it a night and end the lesson. So let's just move to this. Last week we talked about all of these. We called this, we put them into 4 different categories. This is from the other copy. That's why the titles are still blank. I think we called this pairing and this grouping. Anyway, so we have all of these from last week. If you were not there, if you didn't join the previous lesson, you can always go to this. There's this folder. It should be this. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. The Google Drive link posted by Turkbot, you can go to this folder, this year, and the vocabulary folder, and you can read the previous notes. I will not spend time on these today. So what I will do today is the second part, this part. First, we will talk about this da and all of these üstelik, hatta, ayrıca, bununla birlikte, and a couple of common conjunctions with ki. Actually, let's just start with this. I will skip da. There's no need to call it or make a title for it. But this is more like expanding. You expand on the previous sentence. For example, you say something and then you say something else in addition to that. So you expand your statement. And as you can guess, these are more like moreover and other similar conjunctions in English. Tamam? And the key ones are again they connect usually these sentences. They are not very common with words. They usually connect two different sentences, but sometimes they connect them in a positive way, like both of them are positive, but sometimes they are negative. Like you say one positive thing and then say, however, then another negative sentence. We will see all of this. And I also want to remind you this real quick. When you have a question to ask, you should use the Turkbots command and you should type in the chat ask and whatever your question is. Because when you keep asking questions and when I keep reading, the flow of the lesson is interrupted, I get distracted, and the lesson is extended, so it's not very efficient. So first I will try to explain things, then ask for the questions, and during the explanation you can still keep asking, and then I will go back to that. All of your questions are stored in a different channel, so it won't be lost. I will still be able to see it. So I will just add this reminder also on the stream. Tamam, hemen şimdi başlıyoruz. I had to do these reminders. Bunları söylemem gerekiyordu. Ve şimdi hemen başlıyoruz. And Sarah, yes, of course. If you want to ask to the group, if you want to ask someone else, you can ask it in the chat. You don't need to type the question. And I can still read the questions, but sometimes I miss them. Sometimes I have to ignore. Like they go out unnoticed. If you want to make sure that I read the question, use the command. If it's a casual question, no need for this. Great. So first let's talk about da as ve and bile. When you use da between two groups of words, they are called clauses in linguistic terms. So the first one, duy da inanma. They are both verbs, they are both actions. So duy and inanma. Duymak and inanmak. So when you say this, it negates the first sentence. So you hear something, but it's difficult to believe it. So duy da inanma. And when you say gör de utanma, you can see something, but you may be embarrassed or ashamed. And of course, you can also include gittim de geldim. I went there and I came back. And of course, you can use the ve instead of da here. Duy ve inanma, gör ve utanma, gittim ve geldim. There are other options, but using da makes it more colloquial and more natural. That's how native speakers talk. Ana dili Türkçe olanlar böyle konuştuğu için duy da inanma veya da gör de utanma demek duy ve utanma demekten daha doğru. Ve it's not always ve. Sometimes it means bile, which means even if. So sevmesen de çalış. Çalış and sevmek. When you use it as in the sense of bile, like even if, because there's a if here, you need to say sevmesen de çalış. The first one is can look like the if clause, like a conditional sentence, but it's more about even if you don't like it, still you need to study. Sevmesen de çalış. And then çağırsan da gelmem. Even if you call me, beni çağırsan da gelmem. Even if you call me, I won't come. So there's a little contrast between them. Sevmesen de çalış, çağırsan da gelmem. Road MVN 66. Evet, sizce. In your opinion, what do you think that means? Sizce bu ne demek? And there are already answers. That means in addition, moreover, or furthermore, if you want to be fancy. Exactly. So moreover, or furthermore, or just in addition. So the way you use it, first you say something and then you add to your statement. For example, ödevimi yaptım. I did my homework. Üstelik, like now in addition I did something else. Ödevimi yaptım. Üstelik kitap da okudum. I also read a book. Ödevimi yaptım. Üstelik kitap da okudum. So doing the homework was too long, but I managed to do two things. Hem ödev yaptım, hem kitap okudum. Or ışıkları kapattım. Üstelik, now you need to say something else. I turned off the lights, and in addition, what can we do after turning off the lights? Üstelik kapıyı da kilitledim. I turned off the lights, and also, in addition, I also locked the door. Or yatağa gittim, yatmaya gittim. Okay, so now I will be talking about madem ki. If you have more questions, you can ask it with the question command. So, madem ki is also used to connect sentences, but this time it's not about contradicting. It's about similar to in addition, similar to üstelik. So madem ki, if something happened, in this case, I will do something else. So madem ki okul tatil, o zaman ben de hep oyun oynayacağım. So madem okul tatil, ben de oyun oynayacağım. If the school is closed, in this case, I will always be playing games. And there's also this expression, madem öyle, işte böyle. I will put this in quotings. So if that's the case, then here is the case. If that's it, then this is how I will respond. Madem öyle, işte böyle. So you can say this to someone who annoys you. They do something wrong, like they do something unfair, and you are determined to give them a better response, like you are determined to have your revenge, and then you can say this. Madem öyle, işte böyle. Exactly. Eye for an eye. Ne yazık ki. So ne yazık ki is more simple. When something bad happens, it's like the saying unfortunately something bad happened. Like bugün ders var mı? Is there a lesson today? Ne yazık ki yok. Unfortunately, there's not any lesson. Okay, so it's very simple. The same way you use unfortunately in English, you can say ne yazık ki. And Sarah, yes, in English, when you translate it, because yazık is something like a shame. So, what a shame, unfortunately. No. So I should also include this option. Ne yazık yok, ne yazık yok. Ki is optional, but it's strongly preferred. And ne is not optional. Ki is optional, but you should use ki. Without ki, it sounds very weird. Like bugün ders var mı? Ne yazık yok. So, it sounds very weird. I even want to call it not optional. And yes, if you know what maalesef means, it is the same. So, maalesef. Okay? It's very simple, just unfortunately. So far we talked about all of this above, and now we have demek ki, yeter ki, nedir ki, illa ki. So now demek ki. This will also be very simple. So demek ki is used as some to connect sentences like that means, or when you make a conclusion. For example, babam evde uyuyor. So my dad is sleeping inside. So that means he didn't go to work. Demek ki işe gitmedi. You use this demek ki when you make a conclusion or when you come to a conclusion. Like you consider the situation and there is only a possible reason, and the reason must be this. It could be like yani. Evet. Or ders 2 saat sürdü. Demek ki konu zordu. The lesson lasted for 2 hours. But now you need to make a conclusion. Why will the lesson last for 2 hours? Neden 2 saat sürer? Maybe the subject is difficult. Maybe something bad happened, like it was interrupted. But you only pick one conclusion, one option. Demek ki konu zordu. Okay. And herkes doğru cevap verdi. Demek ki her şeyi anladılar. Everyone answered correctly. All of the answers were correct. So why would that be? What could be the reason? Neden or nasıl doğru cevap verdiler? So that means they all understood the subject. Demek ki, so now I am understanding, or I am making a conclusion, they understood the subject. Okay. Demek ki, so there doesn't seem to be questions with this. Demek ki, it is clear. Okay, and now yeter ki. Okay, this one, unfortunately, ne yazık ki, kolay değil. It will be confusing. I expect questions. But when I give examples from English, maybe when I compare it to English with these examples, yeter ki. This one is like just, or at least, like do something, just do something and it will be great. Like like you want to learn Turkish, all you need to do, all it takes is just starting. Like sen yeter ki çalış. Zamanla Türkçen daha iyi olacak. Like just keep studying. Okay? In like over time, it will be, your Turkish will be better. Just keep, like all it takes is studying. Okay? And yeter ki isteyin. Yes. Her şeyi yapabilirsiniz. Like you can do everything. This is about like an inspirational speech. Yeter ki. You try to motivate the person. Because you are saying that all it takes is just one single thing. And he needs to do it. Her şeyi yapabilirsiniz. Yeter ki isteyin. You can use this like a TED Talk or like in a YouTube video about inspiration, motivation. Yeah, so, or I can also put it that way. Derste konuşmanız gerekmiyor. In the lesson, you don't need to talk. Just come. Siz yeter ki gelin. And Sarah, correct? And that means you don't need to bring anything. Just come. Okay, that's all I want. You don't need to bring anything. I don't want anything. All I want is you coming. So just come. Yeter ki gel. Okay, so in English, maybe you can just call it like just. Like all it takes is just, I don't know, just this. Okay, so let's see what's next. Yeah, I will also run, or I will run free before another question comes up. So once again, thank you everyone. Thank you for your interest and see you next time. Herkese teşekkürler. Sonra görüşürüz.